Hey y'all, welcome back to Movement Link. So I just got done with some strength sets. I'm about to do some metabolic conditioning. And I just want to take a few minutes here to talk about kind of how we layer in these different things in our programming. And I've got another video I've done describing kind of each of kind of the skills we're trying to develop. Speed, power, coordination, strength, endurance, flexibility, all of these different things. And the mistake a lot of people make, especially in their programming, is they work under the assumption that if we work on all of these things evenly, they're going to develop evenly. And so one day they'll do a weightlifting day, then they'll do a gymnastics and monostructural or cardio day, then they're going to combine all three, then they're going to do a gymnastics day, and then a weightlifting and monostructural, and they kind of cycle it like this. But the reality is skills are developed extremely differently than strength, which is developed extremely differently than muscle building, and extremely differently than endurance and speed and power and agility and all of these other things. So our program needs to take into consideration that the goal is not to work on everything evenly. The goal is for the end result to be this person that is evenly functional, unless you have something you want to kind of specialize in. But generally, the goal is for the result to be someone who's even across all these levels. So the training looks very, very different than just doing everything evenly. That's just pretty ineffective. So what we do a lot is we've learned a lot from the powerlifters at Juggernaut and Westside Barbell, the US Olympic weightlifting team, what they're doing over in China and Russia, all sorts of places. And we've learned a lot from bodybuilders. And what we know is when we're trying to develop speed and power and strength, that kind of needs, because those things need kind of dedicated, you need to have a lot of willpower, you need to be able to put max kind of effort into these things. Really a program works best when we kind of have a framework designed around our speed, power, strength training, and almost using everything else as accessory work to that. It's pretty easy to develop anaerobic and aerobic capacity, honestly, because as long as you're kind of consistently doing things, you're going hard with intervals, going long, slow with intervals, everything mix and match, that kind of just comes together. So the much trickier parts are the strength and the hypertrophy and the speed and power, agility and the skills, all of these things. So again, I've got another video where we're going to go into specifics on how to develop each one of these things, and that'll describe kind of why our program looks the way it does. But that's why kind of we devolved from or I shouldn't say devolved, I should say evolved, from how kind of classic CrossFit does things, and their strength training on one day and then these other things. And we kind of use it as a framework, and then we use a lot of our metabolic conditioning things as accessory work to this, and as ways to develop all of these other areas that we're working on too. So long story short here, just because we're trying to develop evenly across kind of these 10 general skills we talk about a lot, does not mean they all develop in the same way. They develop extremely differently. And so our workout program needs to take that into account, and we need to have kind of a smart design. And it doesn't mean working on everything evenly. It means working on everything in kind of the relationships and the ratios that we need, and in the ways and methods that we need to work on it to develop an even athlete. Hope that helps. Talk to y'all soon.